Hello everyone, my name is Jake, and obviously tomorrow we have the Sunday video coming out. But today, I was looking at some recent news, and I just realized there's a bunch of national elections happening in very important countries for the U.S. relatively recently. If we call a year recently, I mean, to be fair, they usually hold them every couple of years, so this is pretty recently. We're just gonna be going over 5 countries which are holding them recently because I focus on really all elections because I find them fun to watch. To be honest with you, I don't know. Um, But yeah, the first one we're going to be doing is the UK election, which is happening maybe in 2029. But the reason why I have this here is because Keir Starmer, who is the PM who got elected in 2024, he had a ridiculously big landslide. He is historically unpopular, and so it's possible he gets removed by a coup. Not obviously a military coup, but a political coup. Which will lead to a snap election, I believe. If we can find his leadership approval. Wait a second. Yeah, wait, here it is. Here it is. So his current approval rating is a whopping -50, which is ridiculous. You never really have that in the U.S. because the Keir Starmer, the Labour Party, got 33% of the vote, and they won in a landslide because there was like 5 different parties splitting the vote. And currently leading the UK is the new party Reform, who is right wing. They claim to be further right wing than conservatives, but they're kind of absorbing the conservative party, and so they're being really taken over by them, which is unfortunate because I actually kind of want them to win, but I just don't think they're going to be very good if they win, unfortunately. Um, and Labour is currently in some polls in fourth behind the Green Party, which is the left wing party, which is further left than Labour. And Reform hasn't lost a poll since last year, so if it was held now, they would definitely win. And there's actually UK local elections being held soon. When are they being held? Were they already held? No, they're being held May 7th, which will be important to see. And so this is gonna be an interesting election to watch if it happens soon, but it could happen in 2029 at the latest. And UK is a parliamentary system, so even if Reform wins the most, they would probably get a minority of the government, which means they would have to probably have a coalition with someone, which would probably be the Conservatives. There's a new party which is actually further to the right than Reform, which is Restore Britain. They're polling at around 5%, but I think they're going to rise in the polls. I'm not sure how much they'll have, though. I don't think they're competing in the local elections, though. So right now, Reform's winning, but their lead, as you can see here, has dramatically dropped. They were up by like 15 points, and they're only up by a couple now because they haven't really done much. Um, they haven't they're really they're not helping themselves. They had an opportunity to really establish themselves, but they have been dropping significantly since then. And so that's the UK. I actually had to cut out the last couple minutes of the video because I got this completely wrong. The Social Democrats, which I previously said won the last election, they technically did, but they didn't have a big enough coalition to to have a government. So, in fact, the right wing party did it. So that's my bad. The current hold on. Currently PM is the person in the center right party, but the thing is they're being really overtaken by the right wing party. So currently um last election you can see here they barely won, but the thing is their government's very unpopular, which is why the center left party or the left wing party whatever has really overtaken them. I think that the opposition left wing party will win, but I think on the right wing side, I think the Swedish Democrats will do much better than they say right now, basically because this center right party will be probably overtaken by the right wing party. Um, and so that's what I think is going to happen in Sweden. I like Sweden. Great country, great music, especially Ada. Just saying, you should definitely listen to them. But yeah, you can see the government approval rating. I don't know why they haven't had a poll in 3 years, but they're very unpopular. Now to France. Now they have a presidential election happening soon. In the last election, Macron, who is not going to run again because I think he's term limited, um, you can see he's ran in 2017. He got 66% of the vote. and then he got 58% of the vote, which is less, obviously. Now, France is weird. France has, again, like 5 parties. What they do is they have a 2-round system where they have like 10 parties in the first round, top 2 advance to the second round. Um, Macron is very unpopular once again. He's actually like the most unpopular leader in the whole world. I want to find this. Hold on a second. I'm trying to find his approval rating. This is opinion polling on his presidency. As you can see, his approval rating is currently -60, which is really you don't. I don't. I mean, you typically don't want that. All right, he's literally the most unpopular leader in the world right now, which makes it so his party is very unpopular recently. So we can go to Poland. As you can see here, currently if I can find this right, currently in first by far is the National Rally, which is a right wing to far right party. They're easily in first in the first round, and it's gonna be a battle for who's gonna go with them to the second round, with them. It could be this center right party, um, this left wing party, or Macron's party. The fact that they're even having trouble getting to the second round is not good news for them. Um, but currently they are the clear favorites in the first round. But keep in mind, it has to go to a second round, which they have had, which their party, the right wing to far right party, had, I believe, 40% of the support in the last round, in the last election, where they made it to the second round. And they're currently leading against a lot of people. So against the center right party, it's currently very, very close. Against Macron's party, they're definitely leading, and against the left wing party over here, they're destroying them. So I think currently that they are the favorites by far. They probably will have the next presidency if it's held today. But a lot of things can change. But they're definitely the favorites. I mean, look at this. They're winning 70% of the vote against one of their potential chances. And in 2002 was the first time they had a candidate make the second round. They got 18%, and the president. So it was 82-18 against them, which just shows how far it has come since then. And as you can see here, I'm going to Israel next because it's pretty funny. Now, obviously, there has been some events since they held their last election, and Netanyahu is the big N. Okay, I probably shouldn't say that. Is very unpopular. He's not as popular as Macron, but he's pretty unpopular. The thing is, Israel's elections are weird, and their opposition is very weird. So the opposition is basically as right wing as Netanyahu, but they oppose Netanyahu because he's very corrupt. And one thing with the polls, I have been tracking this for a bit. They have it's kind of like Hungary, where they have like the government polls and stuff, where you can see these. This is where it has been since 2026. These spikes are for a certain type of poller who, for some reason, has Netanyahu way more support than any other poll. It's currently 50-50. There's been a new coalition with 2 opposition parties called Together. And so I really have no idea who's going to win, but this election will be held probably pretty soon. And the last one, which I'll be covering, is Spain. Now, Spain had their last election pretty recently. The left-wing party, won, and he's also pretty unpopular. As you can see, the right-wing party is winning, the center-right, but the right-wing party has had a huge spike up. He's having way more support, mostly because the center-left party, the prime minister, has legalized approximately almost, I think, 1 million illegal immigrants. Probably not the move you want to make if you want to win an election. I hope it gets crushed in the next election, but that's going to be all for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to have to cut out a while of this video.